Welcome to 11th episode, man.
Yes. Are we going 11 or should we go back to season 2, episode 1?
Wow. I mean, we still talking about culture preservation. So
Yes.
you want to cut it short or nah?
Nah, let's continue.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't know it was going to be this fun.
I'm telling you, this is getting really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm loving the reaction that we are receiving from the people in the community. And one thing I would just ask you guys, please comment, share, like, subscribe to those videos because, with the first one or the first few one, the number of the viewers, about 100 something people view. And if all those 100 people subscribe, it would have been great.
Yeah. Maybe it was few people that keep watching it because of how much they loved it.
I loved it. So,
yeah.
We love the conversation we are raising in the community and the subject we are talking about it. So, definitely.
I know, new key. Interesting. But anyway, before we start, I wanted to give a shout out to Emmanuel Evangelist because when this come out, it will be 2 days after his wedding.
So yes.
So, I just want to give him, congratulations on that big step, the best decision. We love to see our young people.
Yes. You are not a responsible man, so
you have beat Spanish bracket.
You should get a star.
So 27, he said 35. So 8 years before. So congratulations. And also I don't know if you saw the article I sent you.
Yes. Okay, that article. It is really great. I love the article. I read it. I just forgot to follow up with you about that, but I really loved the details, the information that was in the article, which is really great, and the mission, the vision, also of Nuki being part of the article. Thanks for putting Nuki out there.
Yeah, that's that's just the whole point of Nuki being they saw Nuki and they're like, oh, that's interesting. Let's reach out to them. Because remember, she wrote a comment and when she first called you a Burundian, which I still think you are.
Yes.
And then, we, because she used to live here. Anyway, not to get into too much,
But we did we share it on our Facebook page on Nuki?
She posted on my wall. And then I would like to apologize because I keep forgetting to mention them. So I wanted to mention them here, and
give them a shout out, please.
Yeah. So the project is called Intersected Project. So the Intersected Project is more like a blog, but they also do more stuff. If you guys can go check them out, intersectedproject.org. And their goal is to pursuing racial equity and inspiring social change, which I think and believe that's all of us goal in life, to see the gap between all races close, where we all have equal opportunity and change our society for better. So shout out to Intersected Project, shout out to Sky, thank you so much. And we're hoping to working with you guys more and more and more.
Definitely. And at the end of this, we will post the link on our Facebook page and all of our
she also posted, actually.
She did.
Now remembering, she posted on our wall, but I think we should post it.
So that people can go read about it, just see the work we are doing, and also learn more about Intersect Project as well.
Yeah. No, it's the future is bright. That's
amen.
Yeah. So, and also happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday.
No, thank you. It feels great, Uncle T, you know.
Yeah. 30. Ben told me you're actually 41.
It's lucky we are alive.
last time you went off on people changing their age. Shoot. Did you remember to include
Yes.
your name, to mention yourself?
Yes.
You're one of them.
Oh, well, that is joke on Benji. He has known me for so long, so he do have that joke. He did text me, said that he thought I was turning 41 because I've passed 30 like a couple decades ago. So joke on him. But yeah, it's a great feeling, Uncle T.
Yeah,
it is a great feeling.
30, man.
30. It's unbelievable. Sitting here today and knowing that I turned 30 and experiencing all the responsibility that come with 30, bro. It's not joke. But on the brighter side, it is a blessing.
Yeah.
Especially for a young person of my age and my generation, because so many people that we grew up together back home didn't live far enough.
It's very dangerous
to see to get to this age. But God bless me. God graces upon my life to be able to see this, to turn 30 and experience that. To me, that's just a blessing.
Yeah.
I can just thank God and worship Him for it.
All right, man.
So, don't change your age.
Congrats on your 30. Be proud of your age.
Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, this couple 2 episode we were talking about culture preservation, and we mentioned many things.
Yes.
And we mentioned what we should keep, what we
shouldn't keep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes.
Should we keep arranged marriage?
No. It should be abolished.
In what way? And why should it be abolished?
In every aspect of arranged marriage, it should be abolished. No one should be making an arrangement for someone when they are not ready, when they don't, because people's interests change every day when they're getting older, every single day. So for my parent or someone's parent to make an arrangement from the age you don't have a knowledge of life, of anything, to the point now you're older, then they're going to sit you down to tell you this is who should be your wife, and this because our cultures have said this and that. Like, well, but if I met somebody, my heart is with somebody.
Where they say that your parents know better, and your parents are always looking out for you. Your parents are always doing things because they love you.
No. I will, little bit disagree on that, because there is a 2 different aspect of that. Because Christianity is clear. What the Word of God say, a man will leave his parent, the wife will leave his parent, they will become one. Okay? It did not say parent go choose a wife or this one choose a husband for your children and give. No. It said a man will leave his parent, this one will come, and they will become as one as a body of Christ. And they moved on to make, to become, also stop building their life and family and also moving forward. So if we are going to allow that to happen, then we are more taking away the responsibility that Christianity give us, that Christ give us, that the Word of God said, man will leave his parent, the wife will leave his parent, and they become one.
Yeah.
It's more the parent, because the choice they're making, it is my choice, your choice, or it is my parents' choice.
Well, they're looking out for you.
No. Not when it comes to marriage. Because marriage, it is a very complicated and sacred subject or thing that when you are not part of it, you will know what's happening. So for them to make that choice.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, the reason why there is a lot of divorce because of those situations.
Actually, you know what's funny though?
What?
Actually, you say that. I read somewhere,
Mhm.
like here in America,
Okay.
is less arranged marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and our culture traditions. If you like, those countries that arrange marriages, there's less divorce rate. There's more divorce rate here, where people have a choice to choose their partner.
Yes. And if you look at those culture that have those arranged marriage and all those things, those culture are more, they have been, the women in that culture have less saying. The women are oppressed.
So, if a woman was going through something and trying to express it, they won't allow her. Like, hey, I'm being mistreated in this marriage. I would like something to be done.
They will tell her, you need to be obedient to your husband. You need to go listen to what he say. You have to such those will
whatever.
be
Yeah, okay.
whatever your husband asks or his needs are. That's what you need to fulfill. Those are the kind of the culture. You see a lot of women in that culture don't have any power or anything to say into that.
Yeah. No. I do agree. For me, personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I chose my wife,
Mm-hmm.
or we chose each other, or however you want to call it.
And you make the best decision.
I'm like, if I had to do it again, I will do it the same way.
Okay. And today, if things go south, no one's gonna blame. You are not gonna blame your parent.
No,
We are
not
going
at
to
all.
come for you.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
also, the reason why I'm not for arranged marriage is because they knowing, okay, this is what I chose and I made the best decision ever.
Amen.
I'm like, wow, I would like everybody else to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love everybody else to experience it. And like I always say, whoever is not gonna spend at least 1 minute in your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if anything happens, it's me and my wife.
Exactly.
Now my parents, like, I won't call my parents like, hey, the wife you got
me.
she's how do I do this?
Exactly. No.
It's like when you call a mechanic. When you call a mechanic, like, hey, remember the car that is showing this and that, what should I do? By me knowing, okay, however we may, I'm the one who thought about it, made the decision. Is like, okay, this is gonna end between me and her.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that's like, there won't be family meetings.
True.
Because the more family meetings when you guys are fighting, the more people outside are gonna know about your marriage.
Yes.
And like I always say, in the Christianity way, is the devil see the door, he see where to enter. Yeah. And so no, arranged marriage is a no, but it's still happening.
But that's why Nuke is here to speak against those, especially in our African community, there are still people that are still doing those practices. And to me, it's just completely wrong. Like, here's my problem, Uncle T. Here's my problem. Let me say this. Like, me saying no, or any young person out there, you saying no to your parent does not mean you disrespect your parent.
Mm-hmm.
People always confuse that. If I say no to my parent, they are going to take that as a disrespect. No.
Let's say your parents did their job, as parents.
To raise me.
Their job, not your job, because you didn't ask to be born. They chose to have
it is
to
their
have a
responsibility
child.
to take care of me.
So let's say they did their job, and you, as wherever you are in life, like, okay, I really, my parents did a great job, so I can't say no to this.
No, that's completely wrong. That is completely wrong.
They raised me, whatever I lacked, they provide.
Even the Bible said that you have, I put right and wrong in front of you, and be wise make the right decision. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. All those things is telling me, if my parent, I see that the things you guys want me to get myself involved into, it is not for the best of my interest.
Mm-hmm.
And if I accept that just to please you, I myself sin.
Let me tell you something about freedom.
Go ahead.
Freedom is a very, very important thing.
Yes.
Freedom of choice, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our parents want the best, what's best for us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they live their life, bro.
Exactly.
So I think there's a way to go about it. There's a way to say no to them.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you're able to talk to your parents and lay out what the pros and cons. So hopefully your parents are able to listen to you, or hopefully you have the guts to talk to your parents, because most of children in our community they can't really speak.
They are
like they
afraid of their parent, and that's not a good parenting as well. And parent, you don't want to put so much fear into your kids so that they can't express how they feel to you. Like, that's completely wrong. You have to be able to put a bridge has to be there. Like, yes, we want our parent to be strict, however, and all this, but there has to be that open way, a room of communication that your kids can feel safe to say, Dad, Mom, this is what's going on. I disagree with what you are saying, or I agree. This is how I see things, and explore those conversations. Don't just lock your mind into it. This is what I said. That's what it's going to be. It depends on the subject as well.
What if also your parents don't tell you, hey, you have to marry that person, or they didn't say anything, but they're like, hey, this girl. Because one thing I noticed.
Nothing is wrong with suggesting, though.
Okay, so it is a suggestion. But what if the parent? Because back in the days, if you read history and empires, they wanted to keep their empires, so they would go. Even the richest, the wisest man in the Bible, he would like, okay, instead of making enemies with that tribe, let me go marry one of their daughters, so we make peace.
Yeah.
What if the parents are like, okay, we like that family, we would like you to get married in that family or in that tribe? Because most of the time, the reason why there's arranged marriage, I feel like parents are trying to minimize marrying outside your culture.
Yeah.
Hey, you can marry whoever you want. But I feel like that's why. So if and they might resent you if you don't marry in a certain tribe.
Sadly, that we still see those cultures still exist in our community, but things as a young person, most of you out there, I want you to be very careful with those arranged marriage that your parents are bringing you into it. That's what I say. You must be able to do your research. Find out whether that person or the family that's sending you into is the best family for you personally. Because
another thing I know for me, I also believe is when you marry your wife, you're marrying the whole family.
Exactly. And also you have to be able to distinguish what kind of family you are getting yourself into it.
And that's why you should do it yourself, even if it's a wrong choice, even whatever people want to call it.
I will be at peace with that, instead of putting the blame. Oh, that's not the wife I wanted. You guys forced me to marry that. You see?
Because some parents might use like, oh, look at that person, they marry outside. Look how they living. Like let's marry in our tribe.
Uncle Chi, marriage. Every different person have marriage has they go to a marriage in different perspective, different goal, different view, and all these things. Okay, certain things might work for you, it may not work for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I think from the beginning we have been against the copycat. Okay, you see, oh my God, look at what's happening over there. I want that also to happen for my child. I want that. No,
that is a very dangerous game.
Exactly, because that person, you don't know that person. You
And
don't know
the inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we tend to see people show all these things from the outside, but when it comes to the inside, it's not great.
So, and what if, just because it's arranged marriage, can't it not work?
What was the question?
Just because it's an arranged marriage, can't it not work?
That's going to depend on each individual person. That's more on the person. Some people make it work, but at least, because here's the thing, Uncle T, since we talk about arranged marriage, like, this is what I want to be able to understand. Okay, because in our African culture, tradition, Christianity.
So which one comes first with those three things you just mentioned?
I will put Christianity first, because this is what I want to be able to understand. When we say arranged marriage, right? So will I be allowed to be to live with that person for a certain amount of time to figure whether this
to test out
before getting married?
But then you're breaking your Christianity.
Then it is better for me to go look for my own that I feel comfortable enough and marry that person.
What about those where is a whole tribe and they're against you? Like, hey, you have to marry within this tribe.
Oh, well, they are not going to be the ones suffering or dealing with
a whole tribe, and
it's okay to break away from your tribe.
Tribe family can be manipulative.
Yeah.
Because let's say they pay literally for everything. And not even pay, they will remind you of those things.
Yeah.
Like, some people might be afraid. Like, oh, I don't wanna, they won't help me anymore. My life is gone. And which is a lie,
That is why, as a man, you must know, you must be ready. You must prepare yourself. Like my brother Emmanuel said, you have to be prepared. You cannot get up, wake up today and say, tomorrow I'm getting married. You cannot. You have to be able to prepare. You have to be able to have a goal. Because from the moment you are getting older, okay, when you start getting older, you must be able to picture in 5 years, 7, 10 years from now, what will be my life? Who will I be? And all those things. You must be able to project those things. From there, then God will help you accomplish those steps one by one. Whether it's to find a job, go to school first, finish your school, and find a job and start saving small by small. And by the time you reach that age, that you have money. That because this is really important when it comes to marriage. Okay, like your family can help you with the small things. But when it comes to the money of your marriage, Uncle T, don't ever allow a family member to give you a dime for that.
One thing, I also refer to Christianity. When it comes to giving, when it comes to you doing whatever you do for anybody, it says when you're, I might mistake the hands, but when your left hand out,
the right hand
should know.
Exactly.
And that means two things. One thing is, when I do something for you, I should always remind you of what I have done for you.
But that's not always the case.
No. I'm talking about, people were very different. So one thing is, I should always remind you of what I have done for you.
Yeah.
And I should use that for you to do something for me, because I believe we're all here to do our job. You do your job, like Tanzanians say, tenda mema nenda zako.
Tenda mema, nenda zako.
So like you do what you gotta do, like do the good you can do, and continue. And if you have that kind of family where they remind you of things that they have done or the good things they have done for you to manipulate you into doing something, then hey, I apologize. And and you can resist them. If you feel like, hey, I can't do this, you can resist. I don't believe my family is there. Like, I feel like my family is obligated to help me.
They are. It depends.
They're obligated to help me.
This is why I'm about to enlighten this issue. This is where your family are allowed to help you.
No, like they're obligated to help me with anything.
No, Uncle Chi, no, they are not. Okay? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to give you the area where your families are allowed to help you and where they are not allowed to help you.
Yeah.
Okay? First, where they are not allowed to help you. Okay? In our tradition, bride price money. Okay? They are not allowed to contribute any money for you to go pay for your bride price. They are not. Okay? They are not allowed to contribute any money for you to pay for anything that relate to your marriage in your marriage. Okay? What they're allowed to contribute is, let's say, the things that are not, because a lot of things that our family tend to held us back or try to speak a lot, it is your wife. Okay? So imagine if they give you money to pay for your wife bride price. Do you know all the talk of the centuries, how they're going to disrespect you and your wife as well?
Look, he can't even pay for his own bride price.
Exactly. We give you the money. So today you are trying to defend your wife. All those talk, because it take away that power from you to be able to defend your wife against your family.
Yeah, no, it's very sad for anybody that do that, honestly.
If your family want to help you, like, hey, the cooking, transportation, the small, those small things, like what's missing, water, juice, plates, and all those things, like what? Oh, what's missing, the decoration, I can pay for that. What's missing? Oh, venue or something like that. Okay, how much? Okay, I can give you 500. Those are fine. But
what if you have the family that don't remind you of the good they done for you?
If you have the family that don't remind you the good, never allow them to pay for your bride price. Uncle T, the big issue that sister-in-law or brother-in-law tend to have with the in-law, it is that, because that's what
it's like they hold it against you.
Exactly.
They hold it against you.
And they hold it against the husband and the wife. And the wife is suffering for because the husband has less power to say something because somebody in the family.
Because even if they had the family meeting, you want, even if you talk, they'll be like, look at you.
They won't even consider you.
Your
what
opinion.
You're saying.
Yeah, which is sad. I think if you do something for anybody, please don't remind them of what you done for them, and do it with your own willingness. Do it out of your own kindness. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But don't do it to remind people what you done.
Yeah, and also be careful how you are also accepting the gift, because if somebody say, here, money, do it whatever, make sure it's not when you're about to pay your bride price, because they may automatically think, I gave you that money, you contribute with your bride price money to go pay for that. Like that, it is very crucial, about the bride price money. Be careful. Don't allow family to say. You have to be able to tell your family, guys, this is how much I have, and this is what they're asking, but this is how much I am going to give. I don't go above or below. That is the whole amount I have. And your family should also convince you to say, add more money and all these things. They shouldn't do that.
Okay.
It has to come from you. How you value your wife, that's the bottom line. You don't go up because somebody tried to influence your decision.
And we're saying this because we don't want anybody being forced or manipulated into getting married
Exactly.
with the person they don't want to get married to. Arranged marriage. We just went in it. Can we see the definition first? Also, maybe
The easiest definition is gonna be one parent talking to the other parent about the interest. But you know what?
some people
Usually
outside your
it's-
parents.
Usually, what I've heard, certain culture, it is because one parent or another parent X amount of money, and a way for them to pay off that debt is going to be your son or your daughter and mine has to be married so that that debt is going to be canceled.
It also happened here with rich people.
Well, rich people tend to, look after their money. They want to
And
keep.
they're gonna use their
they-
kids to do that.
to do that.
Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna speak on that when we get there in a few years. So you have a son, and he comes like, "Hey, I want to marry in this culture."
What culture is that?
And do you have anything against, do you like mentally, or, and we do that where we see a certain culture like, do you have any culture or tribe or ethnicity that you might like, I don't want my kid, my daughter or my son to marry in that?
Are we only talking about African community?
Oh, regardless, nowadays the meaning of the word is flat. It means now we're able to access anywhere.
Well, Uncle T, I think I personally I do not, but I do not have any culture or any things that I can say, because first of all, I'll put it this way. I tend to view myself a little bit as a Pan-Africanism, and I think anything
A little bit?
well, fully, I'm a Pan-Africanism, and anything that's going to better an African continent, I think I'm all for it. But if I would love for my son or for my kid to stay within the African community, to preserve our heritage and all the history and all these things, I would prefer. But at the end of the day, he's going to be able to make his own decision, and as a parent, I'll have to support him.
Okay. So can't you preserve your culture and marry outside your culture?
It's going to be a work in progress. It's not going to be easy because you are going to try to navigate between two cultures. And, it's just really a little bit hard.
So, for me, I marry outside of my country.
But with an African.
No, but you see, I'm Burundian.
Okay, Burundi and Congo, we all just have a border that's separating us.
But you see though, we don't speak the same. We speak, like, I speak Swahili, but it's not the Swahili they speak.
But at least you guys still understand each other 90% of the time.
But would you say though that can prevent me from preserving my culture? Or
No.
I won't preserve my culture just because I don't care about my culture?
No, that's nothing to do with anything.
But can't you marry outside the African community? Since you wanna focus on the African community, okay, let's do that, because I think it's the same thing. Like me marrying non-Burundian. For me personally, I don't think
both of you guys are African, I'm good with that. I think that's where it comes.
But it says, let's create man in our own image. Man at the time, or the meaning is human.
Yes, you are right about that. But also as well, as African, we tend to have this natural instinct connection.
So
and that connection is what bond all of us as African.
So let's say you do that. Let's say you do that. You have that connection. Or does that connection is that connection guaranteed just because you're African?
With African with another African? Yes.
So you're saying 100% majority 100% of Africans that marry Africans have successful marriage.
I would say well you guys I would say most of them, yes.
So
But that, it's like every other aspect of life. There's also a high, then also a downs, and all these things. Like,
so I feel like honestly, regardless how you marry, if you're bound to have a successful marriage, you have it. But like if your goal or vision is something else, but like for me, happiness comes first.
yes, and also
and
there's a lot of African queens out there that can make you happy. So
no, you can still get those. Like, okay, for me, just because I marry outside, it does not guarantee a successful marriage. It's the same thing. And even if I marry inside, it does not guarantee successful marriage.
well, that's why we don't want tribalism. We want Pan-Africanism. We want Africans, because that's more has to do with tribalism. We are keeping within that one.
But that's against
But
Christianity. Can I give you an example?
We want to break away from tribalism and keep
Africanism. But it's still tribe because the Africanism is going to be a tribe. Man, can I give you an example why is against the Bible? And we have to choose why we one example, okay, or two example, three example.
Oh,
how many do you want?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
So the first one, there's no lesson in it really, because so Joseph married an Egyptian woman.
African?
Yeah, an Egyptian. He's a Hebrew. He was a Hebrew.
Woman. You say an Egyptian, so don't tell me.
He was a Hebrew. That's outside Africanism. Moses.
Everyone coming from Africa. So
it doesn't matter if you marry outside your Africanism.
No, you guys stay in the continent.
No, because we it's funny. Anyway, that's the first one. The second one, it was Moses. He was a Hebrew. Married a Cushite woman. That's an Ethiopian woman.
You say Ethiopia, right? Where's Ethiopia?
The lesson
Africa.
is this. The lesson is this though. Moses' sister and his brother, they complained about it. Yeah. And like, oh, you marry a black woman.
So our black women have been under attack for so long.
You marry, they wanted to use that, like for me, let's say right now, if I went back to in my community, somebody come to me like, oh, you really don't care about the Burundian community, you marry outside the Burundian community. That's what they were doing. You know what God did to her?
What?
You can't read it. No, it was like, oh, you so into being so white. Let me make you whiter. Where she couldn't get outside to face the sun. You know who had to pray for God to lift up the curse?
Ooh, a black queen.
No, Moses had to pray for them. But what I'm saying, I feel like it's against Christianity. So which one are we going to put first?
Uncle Chi, like, I am not saying that anyone shouldn't marry outside.
You prefer?
Exactly.
Okay.
I would prefer for us Africans to preserve our heritage, to preserve our culture, the good culture. And I think we should now, start calling it the good culture. Because when we say culture, we are including all the bad and good. So the good culture.
The good culture.
Yes. And those, like that, I would rather have us to have an identity, to have something that we hold on to it as African, have people that come from Africa.
Are we going to lose the identity just because I stepped out?
You might. It's a 50-50 game. It's all depend with how well prepared, how aware you are of what your tide, where you came from. It's all depend on that, because certain people, we see the moment they make it here, they forget where they came from. They forget everything about who they don't want even to associate themselves with the community and the culture where they came from. Those are the kind of things.
I mean, those are the ones
you want to avoid.
Those are the ones we don't want in the continuing the Africanism. But for me is I believe I can't marry outside my Africanism or my African community and still advocate for Africa's progress and the African people.
You can do that, yes, but also you will have to.
The but.
Yeah, the but is just that it's not gonna be like fully like right now. Right now, if you want to do something in Africa, like it's not gonna be that quick. There's going to be like, well, let's see, is it safe? I don't want all those conversations. Like, is this my country, my continent has always been safe for me. Okay, erase me.
Oh, so where you can still marry to an African that don't believe in Africanism.
Well, I've not come across any of them, and I think if they're in that position, then they have been brainwashed, and they are not longer considering themselves as the true son or daughter of motherland.
Because one thing I have got to the point where I think people just want to live and take care of their family. And when you mention, because, trying to push Africanism forward, that's politics. And
Uncle Chi, okay, it's politics, but also we African who are living in diaspora, we also must have a politic of investing back in our country. Our continent.
Let's have that conversation. Investing back in your country is more like, okay, you marry an African. Is that like a must?
Yes.
It's a must. You must marry an African.
Uncle Chi, because listen, me personally, this is what I'm going to say. The life I'm living here today, okay, everything I'm trying to do today, and everything, which is the job I have, if I buy I buy a house, all these things, retirement, 401k, all those things, I'm preparing those for my kids. Because they are born here. I will try my best to expose them with where I came from and all these things, but it's going to reach certain age. I'm not going to have the same force or the same capacity. I would rather go back to my country and do something there where I feel like I need to. I've been, I created something.
So would it make me a lesson of an African or Burundian if I don't go there and help and be here and raise my kids to be the best people they can be?
I would consider you as a sellout.
As a sellout for wanting.
You forget about where you come from.
In what way? Let's say
because you have nothing. You did not build anything back home. You did not help because.
So is that a must to build something back home?
Yes, it is, Uncle Chi. Those of us who are living here in Western society, okay, in diaspora, we have an opportunity. We have an advantage over the people that are back there. If we can do something a little bit to help back there, those are the things I'm talking about. We have to be able to do something. We have to be able to we have to create a cycle.
So let's I feel like we should have a specific episode for this. Yeah, because sometimes people reach out like, oh, you guys go off topic. Let's go back to arranged marriage.
Okay.
So other than your parents, can somebody else arrange your marriage?
No. No one should arrange anyone's marriage.
Can it happen? Can other people arrange your marriage? Where?
No.
I've seen it happen where
Yeah, to me, those people are weak. Anyway, I am Uncle T.
So what is arranged marriage? Actually, let me see
Uncle
the
T.
definition.
Okay, look up the definition. This
Arrange,
is what I'm going to say. You found it?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
Arranged marriage is a type of marital union where the bride and groom are primarily selected by individuals other than the couple themselves.
Did you hear that keyword? The couple themselves.
Particularly by family members such as parents. In some cultures, a professional matchmaker may be used to find a spouse for a young person.
This is what I'm going to say. Anybody, okay? Like today, I'm proud to say I took my time to convince my wife.
To convince your wife?
Yes! Bro, because think about it, Uncle T. If you have never talked to Rachel, okay, and somebody was the intermediate between you and her, do you see what I'm saying?
Well, thank God.
Because I want to be able to know that even today when Charlene and I, we talk and all these things, I'll be able to make joke like, yo, you remember this day, you remember, because
you can still make a joke and
Exactly.
say like, hey, remember how they match us up?
Exactly. Nah.
No,
that's
I think
why
you can still make that joke.
that's where we conservative, we have this mentality of work hard and you hit the fruit of your labor. All the energy, time I put into chasing that my wife. Today I'm enjoying it. I'm happy. I'm proud. I can joke about it. I can tease her about it and all this. But at what point, if you did not do all those efforts to talk to her and all this thing, and suddenly, guess what? I wake up one day, hey, Spanny, my mom and my siblings are coming. This is your wife now.
Hey, it happens. It happens where they tell you have to marry in that family. You have to marry within our culture. And honestly, I don't think anybody should be forced. Like you can suggest, of course, if you want, if you would like your kids to marry within your culture, whatever.
This is what I would say, Uncle Chi, and to anyone watching. Okay, if you're into that position, in that situation, call
Get
me.
out.
No, call me.
No, they don't want to disappoint their parents.
You are not disappointing your parent, and you are not disrespecting your parent. You have to think about what's best for you, because guess what? Your parent has lived long enough for their life. The life you're going to live is not your parents. It's going to be your life. If you're going to be the one suffering, not them. You need to think about that. If you're going to be the one going to get maltreatment, it is you, not them. Think about that.
Some people believe that if you marry outside, you're most likely gonna have a bad treatment, and that's why they will rather force you into marrying your own people.
Sometimes people want to use their experience to use that against us moving forward. I mean, you young people, us young people. But at the end of the day, try to start your own journey. Start your own. Have your own history. Write your own story. Don't let your parent write your story, because at the end of the day, because Uncle T, you know what? The people that have their parents has always hand them things. You know what happened when the parents are no longer here?
They don't know how to go out there and find.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why
I think
it is better. Go fish your own woman. Go look for your own. Start talking, networking, meet whoever. See if you guys connect, you guys bond, you guys have an interest, and make that person your wife.
Yeah. Do you think we should end here, or you have more to say?
Call Spanish hotline. I will walk you to that situation.
Should we put your number down?
They can comment on Yuki and DM us on Yuki, and I will be able to read some of the message. And
let us. I don't know. Are you done?
That should do it. Like, with this, our goal is to wake up young people and become responsible men, responsible people in our community, to take over the torch and start leading, become leaders, and build our community, because we are sick and tired of bunches of weak-minded liberals.
He mean if you're not conservative or Republican, he consider you weak. So all of us that don't agree with conservatives, we are very weak men.
Including you, Skinny.
This is fun. This is fun. So should we end it here, or
Yeah.
you have another message for weak men? What about weak parents?
Weak parent? I don't know.
Hey, don't respect your parents. That's what the
Well,
Bible tells
no
you.
weak parent, but for parent in general. I don't want to disrespect any, but every parent in general. I would say, listen to the voice of God instead of try to hold on to your own failure.
What if see, I disagree, man. How do you gonna say listen to the word of God and then say, what if the word of God is guiding you to marry outside your Africanism?
In what way? Do you want to give me?
No, I'm just saying. Like,
are you saying somebody's gonna come with a prophecy? Say, Uncle Chia, say you should be married with that.
I don't believe in that.
So, parent, let's start. Become better.
Arrange marriage, man. Make sure your kids marry whoever you want them to marry.
Yes.
You just agree.
Wait. Yes.
No. I said, parents, make sure your kids are marrying whoever you want them to marry.
No. That's a big no, Uncle Chi. Done.
Hey,
okay.
I'm telling you,
young people,
listen to your parents. If they tell you to marry the other family member, marry them.
Well, he's leading you the wrong way because he did not do that when it comes to his marriage. So don't listen to him. Listen to
my parents did not do that to me, so they did not guide me.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you. I am.
Listen to the conservative.
I'm telling you, we know best. We know what's best for this, for our country, for our people. We know what's best for our continent and our culture. Okay, so don't let this weak-minded liberal destroy our beautiful culture that we have. Guess what? They have been destroying everything we have built.
Conservatives do not like change.
They have been destroying everything we have worked for.
They don't like to pay
built.
taxes.
Everything you have built, everything we want to
What did you build? You guys build a country of, you know what? Let's say
let's end it here. All right, sounds good, people.
All right, peace.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. This was Nuki.
Peace.